Both my parents voted for Trump, and I'm adopted, so both my parents are white, and I also have a Chinese sister who's also adopted, and I'm going to tell you guys what their viewpoint of all of this is. I was just telling my mom how Trump is doing this mass deportation, and I'm telling her that, you know, people who are citizens, veterans, are getting accused of being illegal aliens, and she's saying, and her defense is that, oh, well, he's trying to get rid of the people who are raping and killing people, as if our citizens don't do that already, and what are we doing about that? The common misconception is that these Trump supporters are stupid, which I don't fully disagree with, but my parents are smart. My mom used to work for the government, and she used to work on radar defense systems, and my dad used to be a tech consultant.
All right, give me a second. Trump supporters are stupid, which she don't disagree with. They are deporting and targeting people that are veterans and mistaking them for illegal migrants. What? Okay, listen. I always like to give credit to the content creator. You know that. So I have to lead with that. So that link will be down in the description. Also, on top of that, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. And in addition to that, I am going to replay this in its entirety in one full clip so that we can get the full context. But my initial reaction to this is that this is the reason why I believe that young people, maybe shouldn't vote, right? I think that voting maybe should be reserved for people above the age of 30. And that doesn't mean that people above the age of 30 is not ignorant also. But how disrespectful, how unappreciative. It's almost like being a step parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you've brought somebody into the greatest space and the greatest country in the world. You could have not even been here. Who's to say that your parents even wanted you? And that's one of the reasons why y'all adopted in the first place, you and your sibling. But you've had very supportive parents who clearly are not racist or prejudiced, bring you up, bring you in. You look like you got on a Van Cleef necklace, so you're very well taken care of with your furs and all of this stuff. And you are talking as though you have any real understanding. Your parents were super successful, work for the government, and all of this stuff. And this is just in a small 1 minute segment. Before I get to it, before I deep dive into it, and to people that are unappreciative and that speak out of ignorance instead of speaking out of logic, let's play it in its entirety. And then we're going to break it down, and I'll give y'all my thoughts, and then y'all can let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Let's rock.
My parents voted for Trump, and I'm adopted, so both my parents are white, and I also have a Chinese sister who's also adopted, and I'm going to tell you guys what their viewpoint of all of this is. I was just telling my mom how Trump is doing this mass deportation, and I'm telling her that, you know, people who are citizens, veterans, are getting accused of being illegal aliens, and she's saying, and her defense is that, oh, well, he's trying to get rid of the people who are raping and killing people, as if our citizens don't do that already, and what are we doing about that? The common misconception is that these Trump supporters are stupid, which I don't fully disagree with, but my parents are smart. My mom used to work for the government, and she used to work on radar defense systems, and my dad used to be a tech consultant for healthcare companies. My mom is also involved in the stock market. Now you're probably wondering, why would they vote for a orange man that hates their children, right? I don't have the answer for that. My family and I, we don't talk politics, and my sister's to the point where she wants to move out the country, which I don't blame her. It's honestly very weird growing up with white parents during this time, and with Trump now being in office. Anytime I tell them anything that's going on, they don't believe me, or they just don't want to have the conversation. My sister and I have been trying to tell my mom what he's been doing with the abortions, and she's like, basically telling us that, well, would you rather have money and be set for life or worry about stuff like that? Being an Asian American and being adopted by white people, I don't want to bash my parents. They're amazing people. They'll fight for my rights any day, but I just don't think they realize the extent of like the freedom we're losing with this man being in office. I'm not gonna lie, my Coinbase account has been going up since he's been the office, but that's like the only good thing that's been going on, and I know that that's rooted in deep capitalism and the 9-to-5 people who can't even afford a 1-bedroom apartment.
What?
I don't do these type of videos. I've never really spoken out about political issues. Like, this is my first TikTok account, and I don't really post on Instagram as well. But I just wanted to come on here to show you guys that although I love my parents, you know, people with adopted children from other countries, they're still blinded, unfortunately. And this is just the relationship that I'm gonna have with my parents. And they're in their 70s, you know, they're not gonna change their mind. People don't change at this point of their life. So.
And this is important. This is one of the reasons why I would never adopt, why I would never take on somebody else's children. You have a hard enough time, I believe, as a parent, trying to make sure that your kid is not affected by what they deal with in school and in culture and all of this stuff. But then on top of that, to add seasoning into it, you then get people that are unappreciative of what's going on inside of the culture and the real truth. And the real truth is that Trump does not hate people that are of a different ethnicity. He does not care for people that take advantage of Americans because we are Americans first. And that's the difference. You know, all of this orange man and, Republicans and Trump supporters are ignorant and all of that other type of stuff. It just shows while she's sitting there with her fur coat on and her Van Cleef and her American parents who have really, really leveraged their privilege and working very hard to make sure that they raise them up. All they did was raise up raging liberals. They raised up raging liberals. What I think should happen is that her and her sister should both move out of America and go back to where they came from, and then let them experience what communism and socialism really looks like. Let them experience what censorship really looks like. Let them see what hate really looks like. Let them see what um, low wages and raging against capitalism while American workers and 9-to-5ers, let them experience it. That's the thing, man. Either you're going to give it to them young by not allowing for them to be so privileged to where they don't learn the lessons and fail in controlled environments so that they're not moving spoiled and acting like little brats, or you're going to be raising up pouty mouth, whining people who truly didn't even appreciate the fact that, they didn't even have to be here. They didn't even have to be in this situation. I'm very thankful. I work hard. We all work hard as hell, most of us, at least the people I think that follow me. But I am very thankful that I am born in America, that, my parents came up from Dawson, Georgia, or my father's father came up from Dawson, Georgia, and brought him up. And, that we are blessed enough to really be able to take advantage of, which I don't take for granted at all. And that's why I work my ass off. And I love my country. And I appreciate police officers and the soldiers that serve this country. And I even respect the opinions of people that don't think like me, that are American citizens, as long as they're able to substantiate their argument and is not running in the victim Olympics. I think that, this country is the greatest country on earth. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people truly don't understand the opportunity that's before them. And that's why everybody trying to come into this country, um, you know, and they don't want to be deported. But the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of spoiled liberals out here. And you may be conservative, but if you don't make sure that you put it in them young, and maybe they just don't have it in them because they always gonna revert back to whatever it was that they was raised to be from their culture or what's inherently in them. But it's unfortunate that you have a young ignorant girl on this app that's so privileged and they talking about moving out of the move. I think that anybody that does not want to be here, you should catch you a one-way ticket and make sure you try to get citizenship in some other country so that you can become all that you want to be inside of that country. But I don't think that we need people with this type of mentality. And I respect differences, but I don't think that we should have people that don't want to be here. I think we should incentivize them to leave. That's my opinion. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.